Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The WBC champion Deontay Wilder has responded to the news that Tyson Fury has changed trainer, ditching Ben Davison in favour of Javon Sugarhill, otherwise known as Sugarhill Stewart, the nephew of famed trainer Emmanuel Stewart of the Kronk Gym. So this has obviously been big news in recent days, and Wilder, see here on screen, says, "I heard about it. He's trying to do his best to get himself defeated. He's concerned about this fight. He don't believe the hype around him." And further down here in this piece from BoxingScene.com, Wilder of the split with Davison says, "They seem like they were cool from what you read, but you hear a lot of different things, so who knows what was really going on. Sometimes it takes that person to take the initiative to say, I gotta go. I don't know how much you can read into it, but it ain't going to matter who he gets. You can't teach power. You can't teach speed." Deontay Wilder's statements to BoxingScene.com on this trainer change. Before I get into his statements and what he's saying there, I would just note that power has been one of the things that has, from fan perspective, at least from what I can tell, what I've been reading and what, comment sections and such, that is, people believe that is one of the big reasons for the move to Sugarhill Stewart. And I will get to some of his comments that he's made to the media as well, because it seems like he didn't necessarily know that he was going to be the head trainer. He was approached and seemed to think he was going to be involved, but not necessarily the head guy. But obviously fans have been talking about this move, and one of the things that the Kronk Gym was famous for, Emmanuel Stewart and obviously Sugarhill Stewart, who trained under his tutelage for years and years and years. Power is one of the hallmarks of the Kronk Gym. So people have speculated, Fury moving here, does this mean he really wants to go for the knockout against Deontay Wilder? He wants to have more snap on his punches, and can he actually achieve that in a short amount of time? Obviously, a lot of questions about the move and what the resulting impacts will be in the rematch with Deontay Wilder. But of these comments by Deontay Wilder, so I'm not necessarily surprised at this sort of reaction, because he doesn't really seem too concerned about this at all. He believes he is going to beat Tyson Fury in the rematch. First time around, he was able to catch him twice. So that will give him a lot of confidence going into the rematch, and especially he's seen that fight recently with Otto Warren. He will think that Tyson Fury is probably there for the taking, that if he can execute a more disciplined game plan, not just go swinging for the fences and finding fresh air as he did in the first fight for rounds and rounds and rounds, that if he's more disciplined, works his jab, works Fury to the body, the opportunities for a power shot with that right hand, they will come. And he believes he will win this one, and it will be an easier fight than the first one. But obviously Tyson Fury, taller than Wilder, bigger reach than Wilder, if he can come in here with a good game plan too, stay focused, who knows what can happen, because it is that equation. He either gets knocked out or he boxes to a decision. Well, that is the theory anyway. That's what we thought for the first fight, and it ended up being a draw. So I think Deontay Wilder isn't really sort of taking too much out of this move to Sugarhill Stewart. If anything, he probably takes some confidence from it. If you were to look at this as Wilder and your opponent is changing trainer a couple of months out, then you hear that Anthony Joshua was offered to spar and Fury has taken up that opportunity, embraced it on social media, you might be thinking other wheels falling off the Tyson Fury camp. And it'll be one of these things, are there breadcrumbs sort of indicating something like this? But you could also, look at it that he's making the moves that he needs to make to get the job done. Only hindsight will tell us which was the actual answer to those sorts of questions. But of Javon Sugarhill, aka Sugarhill Stewart, he's made some comments to the media, to BoxingScene.com. It's the Kronk style, so it's not hard to figure out what Emmanuel liked the most. If you know that answer, you know the plan Tyson spoke about. It's so simple, you could miss it. Both guys are big punchers, but Wilder is bigger. He's a beast of a puncher, but one punch changes a fight. And this is why the heavyweights are the big daddies of them all. A knockout was always the plan. Why think anything less? He wanted a trainer who was technical. He wants to be very technical. We will work on his technique. These are the characteristics he was looking for when he called me. And I fit the description. It all happened so fast. Initially, he spoke to me about coming into camp. But then I heard Ben Davison is gone and I'm the head trainer. And talking to WBN, he says, we worked a lot. 10 years ago now? Tyson was living with me and Emmanuel for about a month. He also spent time in training camp with Vladimir Klitschko in Austria. That's where we worked. But we had a great relationship, a great training method, and everything else. Obviously, he called me, so he wants to be doing some technical things like how Emmanuel did it, and myself. And then he was asked about the final details of preparations. He says, from what I know, it should be in Las Vegas. That's what he told me. He said he had a camp in Las Vegas already, from what I know. He was with Ben Davison, and now he's not. Ben Davison is out of the team, so I guess that was the original training camp, and that's what I'm looking forward to. The whole thing should start in January. We're going to start the new year off right. That is Javon Sugarhill, so talking to WBN, and previously these quotes, other ones were reported on BoxingScene.com. So it seems to be, at least from this first story where he sort of said he was approached about coming into camp, that he heard Davison is gone and he's the head trainer, that he wasn't expecting to be coming in as a replacement here. And perhaps Ben Davison balked at the suggestion that someone else, another voice, should be coming in to take over. And a new voice, Ben Davison, maybe didn't like that. And that could be a big part of why he's walked out here. Other trainers have spoken before about not wanting to have too many voices in camp because obviously theirs may get lost. But, it is what it is at this point. But Javon Sugarhill is now Tyson Fury's trainer. But yeah, interesting about their starting in January, so that would give about a 6-week camp, and then you'd have fight week or so, because the fight is going to be reportedly February the 22nd, 2020. It's not long now. It literally is only 2 months away. And if you're starting in January, early in the new year, it's not a huge camp. But I guess if Tyson Fury is already preparing himself to some extent outside of training camp, and he has been posting some stuff to his social media in recent weeks, in the gym, that sort of stuff, just ticking over, I guess maybe a 6-week camp might do. Deontay Wilder, for him, probably doesn't matter too much either. He's always in shape. He probably only needs to, a 6-week camp is probably ideal for him. His sort of saying with these sorts of things is he doesn't have to get ready because he stays ready. But what do you make of this? Deontay Wilder reacting to Tyson Fury's trainer change doesn't seem too concerned at all. In fact, you might say that he believes it's probably a good thing for him. But also, Javon Sugarhill indicating that Ben Davison, he thought he was going to be in the picture, but not. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.